The road drops down past Garth Castle, once the stronghold of the Wolf of Badenoch, Alexander Stewart, who is said to have died here in 1396. Garth Castle is a stark tower house, now under private American ownership. It is said the wolf often threw prisoners from the roof down to the tumbling burn below. Fortingall is said to be the birthplace of Pontius Pilate, whose father was a Roman ambassador sent by Emperor Augustus to hold talks with the Scottish king Marcellinus, and his mother reputedly a MacLaren from Glen in the Trossachs. The village stands at the mouth of Glen Lyon. Its cottages, church and hotel were built in the late 1800s by Sir Donald Curry, a wealthy ship owner who lived at Glen Lyon House at the west end of the village. The Fortingall Hotel was built in 1891 to a MacLaren design. Opposite the hotel is the Cairn of the Dead. A stone pillar marks the burial ground of victims of the plague in the 7th and 14th centuries. Next door to the hotel is the churchyard, which boasts the oldest living thing in Europe, a giant yew tree said to be anything from 3,000 to 5,000 years old. In ancient times its wood was used for making arrows, and later fires were lit at its base by youths celebrating the pagan ritual of Beltane, which gradually split the tree. In 1769 the tree was measured at a girth of 56 feet, and it was possible to drive a coach and horses through it. Travel west through Glen Lyon, the Glen of the Crooked Stones, a name derived from ancient circular stone towers associated with the legend of Fingal. It's the longest glen in Scotland, at over 30 miles, and the loveliest and most legend-filled. 1 mile up the glen is MacGregor's Leap, where in 1565 a pursued MacGregor chief leapt to safety when hunted by Campbells with imported mastiffs from Italy. A little further up the glen stands the private Megerney Castle, a 16th century stronghold in a spectacular mountainous setting. Once the home of Robert Campbell, infamous leader of the Glencoe massacre, his forefather Mad Colin Campbell also had his base here. He hanged reivers outside his front door and abducted the Countess of Errol. The castle is said to be haunted by the top half of a Mingus laird's wife, murdered in the 17th century. Indeed, in 1885, during alterations, the upper part of a skeleton was found beneath the floor. Just as you leave the policies of Megerney, a road forks up to the right to Loch's estate. Here you will often see red deer in amongst the Scots pine, which remains unfenced and therefore a popular shelter for these often elusive creatures. Returning to Bridge of Balgie, the road ahead continues on to Loch Lyon through some wonderful wild open country, but is a private road beyond the loch. Head up over the mountain pass to Ben Lawers. Perthshire's highest mountain, at nearly 4,000 feet, has great views from the Atlantic to the North Sea. The southern slopes of the mountain are noted for their wide variety of alpine flowers.